What's going on YouTube? Welcome to Free For All Friday. I'm playing Free For All on the map Hovik Sawmill, and things start going my way eventually, so stick around to see. I'll put the class I used in the description below for those that are interested, although it is not the greatest class setup in the world to be perfectly honest, but I was able to make it work, thankfully. The theme for this video will be stories and facts I found funny from Ripley's Believe It or Not. I hope they'll entertain you, so let's dive right into the fun. The two lower floors of a three-story house on Herkimer Street in Albany, New York, were stolen. Like, what? How do you steal two floors of a building? Do you have to take a ladder to get to the third floor now? Or does the third floor just become the first floor? Did it all collapse? There's just so many questions with this story. In 1982, Larry Walters rose 3 miles in a lawn chair held up by 24 helium balloons. I wonder if this was inspiration for the movie Up or not. An empty Boeing 747 jumbo jet weighs as much as 67 elephants. It is kind of incredible the Boeing is able to fly even though it weighs so much, even without passengers or luggage. So you tell me picturing 67 elephants flying through the air isn't hilarious. The Nut Museum, founded by Elizabeth Tashjian in Connecticut, exhibits nuts of every kind from all over the world, including
these nuts. Got him! Got him!
okay. F.G. Holt of Arkansas has such good control of his facial muscles that he could play a medley of tunes with bells attached to his eyebrows. When an elderly Danish woman died, she left her entire life savings to her loved ones. As a result, 6 chimpanzees at the Copenhagen Zoo were suddenly $60,000 richer. Now that's a lot of bananas. Mark Davies of Darwin, Australia, has a peculiar method of motivating the 13 to 21-year-old members of his swim team to break their own records. He drops a crocodile into the pool. Since Davies started the practice, the swimmers' times have improved considerably. Now, this doesn't say anything about the older groups, so I'm guessing they just didn't make it. When Edwin Gallart dropped his cell phone down a toilet in October 2003, he wasn't the only one that was sorry. The evening commuters on his train and thousands more on the trains behind were held up for hours. Why? When Gallart tried to retrieve his phone, he managed to get his arms stuck. It took rescue workers hours to free him because they had to take apart the entire toilet, and he still lost the phone. Talk about a crappy situation. In 1911, Bobby Leach survived going over Niagara Falls in a wooden barrel only to die several months later after slipping on a banana peel. You can't make this stuff up. When 14-year-old Dwayne Della of Altoona, Pennsylvania, tried to keep his 2-year-old niece from climbing into the basement freezer, he lost his balance and toppled in, landing face first. Dwayne opened his mouth to yell for help, and his tongue instantly stuck fast to the bottom of the freezer. Fortunately, firefighters were able to free his tongue and pull him out. 2-year-old Racine Gomez of Denver, Colorado survived without injury, first when she fell from a 3-story apartment window, and second when she was in her mother's car when it was hit by a tornado and rolled over 3 times. Well, Racine must have fallen from the apartment that had the first 2 floors stolen, so that explains how she survived that, but I am most impressed she survived the tornado. An Italian thief who fell in love with the female cashier at the Genoa post office he robbed was arrested when he went back to ask her out for a date. The day after forcing the 21-year-old to hand over money at gunpoint, the robber returned to the scene of the crime with a bunch of flowers, an apology, and the offer of a date. Instead of immediately accepting his offer, the cashier kept him talking while she activated a silent alarm connected to the police station. Whoops. After arguing with his girlfriend in 2008, a 22-year-old man from Vero Beach, Florida, was charged with assaulting her, having shoved a cheeseburger in her face. To me, this is a favor, not assault. It saves me a step in the eating process. A man was arrested in Brittany, France in 2008 on suspicion of stealing 170 ornamental gnomes from various people's gardens. Now that is a real crime, and one that would get increasingly harder to hide in my opinion. The Earth's gravity is only about 10% weaker on the International Space Station, which orbits 320 kilometers up in space, than it is on the ground. Now, this is just a fun fact I found interesting because I love outer space. Now, in a storm, lightning is heard before the thunder because light travels faster than sound. The difference between the speed of light and the speed of sound is so great that light could travel right around the world before sound finished a 100-meter sprint. Dan Fern of Pueblo, Colorado was frying a tortilla in his home in 2001 when lightning struck a tree in his yard and traveled down a power line to his stove, burning a hole in his frying pan. Every day, around 40 tons of space dust enters the atmosphere and falls to the Earth's surface. That's the equivalent of the weight of 8 African elephants. Now, I'm seeing a recurring theme here of using elephants to measure weights, and I like it. Becky Martz of Houston, Texas is fascinated by bananas, not the fruits themselves, but the labels. She began collecting banana labels in 1991 and now has more than 7,000. She has even started branching out to collect asparagus and broccoli labels. Now, it would take me a really long time to grow a broccoli label collection, and same with asparagus. They're just not my favorite foods in the world, so congrats to Becky. A Chinese man set up an online business in 2008 selling dead mosquitoes that he had killed personally. Nin Nan of Shanghai advertised them for around $1 a head, suggesting that the insect corpses could be used for scientific study, decoration, or collection. He had 10,000 orders in 2 days. Now that's pretty impressive. It sounds like this man can sell anything. Now, another Chinese man can write calligraphy by shooting water from his eyes. Ru Anting from Luoyang, Henan province, sucks the water up his nose and then sprays it through his tear ducts onto a board covered with dark paper. He discovered his unusual talent as a child while swimming in a river, and after 3 years of training, he can now shoot water accurately from his eyes over a distance of 3 meters. I can actually do the same thing when I step on a Lego, so I guess we're both pretty impressive in that sense. Martin Mihal of Germany has been collecting empty chocolate wrappers from around the world since 1996. He has almost 40,000 wrappers from approximately 100 different countries. Now, this collection is definitely more in my wheelhouse, much better than asparagus and broccoli tags. At a baseball game in Grand Prairie, Texas in June 2008, Elaine Phelps, 60, won a $10,000 all expenses paid funeral. Oof. Alright, well thank you for watching the video everyone, I really appreciate it. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe. Hopefully I'll see you around for the next video on Monday. In the meantime, have an awesome weekend.